kind of close. I just think the average fish min raise calls like first they min raise call a lot. And they, I mean, they'll just min raise spike call, right? I mean, they'll just min raise like 10-9 off and jack 8 off and stuff like that. And this, I think I have decent reason to think this guy's probably the type that's a little bit more out of line. Like, I mean, maybe he's just got a huge leak and it's just his standard c-bet size, but I mean, you would assume that the guy would be pretty out of line, right?
Yeah, that was like a mistake I used to make, like, until I like sort of changed it, because like you're saying, they can even sense like running over you, and they know that you're just going to shove like quite light and spill, so they just spike call you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think like, you know, I've been getting run over. Probably it's just common sense that I'm going to try to play back at some point. I think a fish even knows that's why they tend to spike call more, and especially in a game flow situation like this. But flatting expectation is just so good. I feel like 3-betting expectation is possibly minus EV, but it's unlikely it's better than flatting, I think. So, but that said, like, I think if I had 10-9 suited, I would shove.
Yeah.
Just because we really don't need much fold equity, right? I mean, very, very little for that to be best. So I think it's kind of close, but. So I was actually really skeptical of a check back, like, just because with this board texture, you would think most people would be c-betting their air here. You see that 3 of 3 full pot. That, I don't know, especially at this stack depth, I just didn't expect I had a lot of fold equity. That I was actually like, my sizing on the turn is like a blocking bet to be able to realize my equity for cheaper than if I check and he bets big. So I want to, like, I mean, maybe I'll get a fold, but more importantly, like, I want to induce him into just flatting with like a hand he's trapping with, or a jack, or pocket tens, or something like that, instead of me checking and he bets like 90, because he has a tendency to bet so big. So it allows me to, like, I don't expect to have a whole lot of fold equity, but I don't want to be faced with a big bet if I check. So it's just like a really small bet to allow me to realize my equity on the river, basically.
It's like a blocker almost?
Yeah, like a blocker, pretty much, yeah. I think it works pretty well sometimes, too, especially when you're playing someone that will have a tendency to bet really big when checked to. And I couldn't call that. What do you think?
Yeah, like... I'm thinking. Like, I've been trying like out this sort of little blocker bets as well. Like, maybe not in this sort of specific situation, but like, see if you see bet and like you've got a guy who's like, it's like a really dry flop and you get fish that just call anyway. Just like if you see bet and then just like a tiny little bet in, just to sort of keep the momentum in your favour.